All right, guys. The Brandon and Miyoshi show is back for a third edition.
And yes, you could believe it because we're good. We do well. We have great conversation.
Yeah, all those things. We use the term "we" very loosely here. And again, every time it's a shock to me. So we went through some YouTube comments. And first, shout out to you guys for watching this. You guys came out in numbers. That's real love right there. I don't know how much she paid you, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it either way. We're not gonna get it.
Wow, just because you pay for followers,
we're not gonna get into
my
finances. We're not gonna get into finances. We're gonna get into breakups today.
Absolutely.
So we talked about relationships, and now we want to talk about breakups. And what's your take on breakups?
How ironic that we talk about keeping relationships together, and then everyone results to breakups. Breakups suck.
It's a spectrum, you know what I mean? There's beginning and end to things, so
but you usually don't think, you know that people are gonna die, but you don't think when you get in that relationship at that time when you're all happy and in love, you don't think that's gonna end.
No, you don't. Not during that time, but shortly after, you're like,
I'm tired of this.
Mistakes were made, boss.
Anyways,
sometimes.
No.
I mean, until you get married, that's pretty much the feeling. You know what I mean? And
is that a man thing?
No.
I don't feel like women think like that at all. Like we're in it.
No. I don't mean that from an in it standpoint. I mean like you feel like every relationship is the one. I hope, and then you find out over time that it isn't. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, totally.
Right. I'm like,
I don't think everyone thinks that every relationship is the one. It's all about how you are living that life. You know, how you playing a game or.
So people get into relationships like we're just gonna just date it out and just be dating. Like I want a boyfriend, I want a girlfriend.
I've seen it, yeah, out of desperation. Kind of sucks, but
that's new for me. I think I date like with a purpose. Like if we're gonna be like boyfriend girlfriend, then for sure like I'm trying to get married. You know, whether it works or not, we'll find out. But
that's how it should be. But I think that's the problem with relationships. There's no intention with most people. They're just like, I want a boyfriend. Valentine's Day is coming up. Like
that makes my head hurt.
I know. It does too.
Are you the breaker upper? Or are you the breaker up E? the broker.
Well, I've played both sides.
What do you play the most? Don't do that.
I've only had 2 relationships.
Okay.
So
you didn't have no situationships that you had to call?
No, sorry. That's what you have. You know, from the last comment, we made back in the first episode, situationship BT. But no, I haven't had to do any of that.
Okay.
But when it comes to breakups, though, honestly, they suck.
Yeah.
They really do suck because when I get in a relationship, I date with a purpose.
Got it.
And my idea is like, okay, I like this person. I like the vibes. We probably met each other's families. We are in bed with each other. Like, not in bed. You're so...
The devil is a lie today. In bed with each other?
Not that type of in bed.
Okay.
Like, you are...
We'll figure a new analogy. Go ahead. Get out of bed. Get out of bed with the joker.
Okay, come on, heathens. You're the heathen, BT. Anyway, what I'm saying is that you're invested in this person, then all of a sudden it's over. Mm-hmm. It all depends on how the breakup happens. For one breakup that I've had, it was mutual.
Mm-hmm.
What do you...
No.
There are no mutual breakups?
Hell no. No, go ahead.
No, it was mutual. Okay. Like we were dating in like a high school, right? And then you go into college and this is a new environment. You learn all these new things about yourself. Out of separation, you come together, you just notice things just aren't the same, and it's probably not gonna go back to where it was because now you're this new person. And so instead of like holding on to a relationship, it was more so he wanted to live on and do some more things because now dude's been in college, right? Now I'm in college. So now I'm like, okay, this is a new space. So then we end up breaking up. I personally think that it was mutual.
Oh, that's precious.
I do. I think it was mutual. I wasn't upset with him. He wasn't upset with me.
Hell no, he wasn't upset with you. He was excited. Because now he got a whole new field of women to be around. And now he get to be free out there. Guilt-free, moving around.
As did I. And I felt like that's why it was a mutual breakup. And that to me was healthy. Now, whether, feelings come back later in life and you figure out that you might have made a bad mistake, that sucks for you. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying there's still hope?
Heck no.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Sorry, boss. I tried. You seen I tried. I tried to throw you some bells, G.
No, absolutely not. But you make that decision, you can move on. Now, when the breakup happens and stuff just hit the fan, like it's just a mess. You completely think this is the person you're going to be with. You start picking houses and you start, talking about marriage even more and life.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yes.
That hurts, and it hurts for a very long time. And so I want to know, when you've been, first off, have you been broken up with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
No, because some people don't like to admit it. I have a couple people in my friends group that was literally lied to the death. I'm I've never been broken up with, and I'm sitting there I know the dude that broke up with you.
These my people. They know I'm gonna keep it G. I've absolutely been broken up with.
How did you feel?
It's a terrible feeling, right? And I think that there are two sides of it that you can be on. So when somebody breaks up with you, they have already started the mourning process. You know what I mean? They're done by the time you get to it.
Yeah.
So it's so they already know this thing is coming, la-di-da, and then boom, they slap you in the head with it. And you're like, what? I can't believe. And when you look back, with different perspective, you can kind of see where it was going left, or you might have an idea even prior, but you still may not be aware of when it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
So when that person finally comes, you sitting here looking like, nah, I know. What's his name? What's his name, girl? What's the joker name? But yeah,
why you always gotta be the girl that's getting broken up?
Well, I'm just speaking for me.
How you said.
I'm speaking from my perspective.
But your perspective will be how you feel. It would be what's her name? Like you said.
No, I'm saying what's his name to the girl, because it's already another joker you talking to. So what is his name?
So you just automatically assume that they've made a new life with somebody?
I'm just reporting the news. Channel 6, 7:30. We here.
No way. I don't think we move on that fast. You think we move on that fast?
No way, not women. No way, not angelic, wholesome women. They would never. Anyways, so when you're getting broke up with, that person already got 2 steps ahead of you. They done already listened to their sad songs. So now you dealing with it, and now you just getting your playlist together. You know what I mean? You just putting the tracks on, and now you got to deal with it from that point. And now you see them move on faster. Now they smiling again in their story, and you over here off the internet, trying to act trying to archive these pictures ain't nobody know. Damn, we ain't seen Eric in a minute. Where? Oh, ain't no pictures. And that's when the dudes is oh, it's game time, baby. Let's go get her.
I think that's why I'm good at that. I leave everything up. I see it. Memories come back on my Facebook. I just be so nobody ever knows.
Right, fair enough.
What's going on.
Every boyfriend you've ever dated is still there.
No,
this is my real life. This is how I chronicle.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
I'm not doing all that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And I think breakups are hard. And I think the best advice I would say for breakups is that you have to deal with the breakup. I have a friend of mine, hope he's well, I haven't talked to him in a while. His name is Jace Barron. And
you're naming names?
I'm naming Barron. This is my boy. So he had this philosophy, and it was that you can't cook in a burnt kitchen. Okay. And he's at the end of your relationship, you burn the kitchen down, you burn the house down. You can't get somebody new and start cooking in that kitchen again because the kitchen is burnt. You got to repair the kitchen, and then you can move forward. And I think that's the truest thing ever, even though sometimes you might not feel like that. You might feel like you need to do something else. You feel like you need somebody to fill the space. But if you don't fill that space with something else, then you're going to fill it with a person. What happens is that the person 2 seconds later, annoys you, and then you're sitting there and now you connected this person, and you don't want either one of them. So you definitely got to allow yourself to heal.
Absolutely.
You got to sit down for a second, get your life in order, get yourself in order, take care of yourself, and then you can move forward safely.
Like, I agree with everything you said. Honestly, you do have to give yourself that time to process the breakup, process your thoughts, process your emotions, allow yourself to feel however you want to feel. Some days you might be super happy, some days you might be super sad. Some days you might find yourself, like you said, archiving those pictures and just having a breakdown. Like, you have to give yourself that moment. But I also want people to think, after you go through that kind of grieving, because it's kind of like a mourning stage, that you start to not only work on yourself, but don't shut off for the idea of a new person in your life. Because I think once your heart is broken and you're so sad, you're just like, I can do this all by myself. I don't need anyone. Like, I will never want to feel like that again. And then maybe you do find someone that digs you, that likes you after, some time, and you didn't take that proper time to heal. So now you just messed up that next person's life. Because if you're not healed and you don't take care of yourself, I really do think that you're going into this situation with intentions of messing up their lives.
Subconsciously. I don't think people are like, yeah, now I'm going to mess these jokers up.
Yeah, but it's just like, if you know you're not ready, don't move on.
Yeah, but
don't do that.
I mean, that's the correct thing to say, but I don't think it always...
But that's the thing. Just like you said, enlightened moment. If it's just that simple, we should just be able to do it.
Yeah, and pay your bills on time, and
pay your bills on time,
and never be late, and all these things. Yeah, these are like things. The reason why they're things is because it's not that easy. It's that simple, I'm sure. But I think I think that a lot of times where the world messes up for me, right, is we try to make stuff black and white.
Okay.
But there's so much gray in everything that it's just kind of like, it's just not that simple. It ain't just yes or no. It's yes and no comma, no but. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not always that easy. So obviously that is the best case scenario. But I think it's like, sometimes people do the wrong stuff. I think we've all, right?
No, totally. There's no perfect person, but if people continue to do the same things, it's just like, why are we allowing this to be okay?
It's because they still hurt and they didn't
do
Well,
that's what I'm saying. I agree. That's what I said. I agree with all those things.
Right.
But like, make sure you go through that process and you have new intentions and you already set your mind that I'm open to restarting and reconnecting and developing.
Right.
Because you can go through the healing process and then have the mindset that dudes ain't shit and bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Like seriously, like you, and then you go into this relationship and to me now your intentions are all off. Yeah. You didn't heal. You're not mad at your ex anymore.
Right.
You just,
But I think it's tricky, and I think it kind of plays out in a different way. I think it plays out in a sense where you might not allow people to be as close to you because you don't want to get hurt again. I don't know if it's like I got in a relationship and I think all women ain't shit, because that's backwards. But what I think it is that you're not gonna let a woman get as close because you feel like you don't want to hurt like you did again.
Absolutely.
And I think that can be limiting because it's hard to go forward, and it's hard to go forward with somebody and keep them at distance at the same time. So what happens is you keep that other person at bay. They don't really know what's going on. You don't really know what's going on because you haven't figured it out inside. Now, what I think is the issue here is a word we've been throwing around. What is healing?
What is healing?
Yeah, like, we're saying like, till you heal, you can't da-da-da. What is healing?
I would say just taking the proper time to evaluate like situations. Because sometimes for me, that was kind of detrimental to me dating for a long time, was that I kept replaying over and over and over like what I did wrong or what I should have said and all those things. And so I started not necessarily journaling, but like having those good thoughts about, you know what, Miyoshi, if this comes to you again and it happens, you have to learn how to control your emotions.
Right.
Like, you have to learn how to, I couldn't sit back and think about how to fix that person, because first off, the person is gone. and there's no more conversation with this person.
Not a net.
None, right? So then that healing process was really, how can I make myself better in this time, knowing the things that I did wrong? Because when you reflect on what you did wrong and then you make those things better, your healing process, you'll start to see a new Miyoshi, you'll start to see a new Brandon, and then you move differently, you think differently, and different types of opportunities come your way when it comes to dating. Because, you know, they say like minds think attract or something like that. I don't know the saying, but basically, like, you'll see something that you're interested in, they'll see something in you, and it'll all work out organically. I just feel like it is like a natural vibe, and you have to go through that process. But if you don't fix nothing and you don't work on anything, then
for me, I think there are many aspects of healing. I completely agree with what you said. I think for me, healing is forgiveness. No matter what side of the breakup you're on, whether it's forgiving yourself for what you did in it, or forgiving the person for what they did to you. And you know, sometimes we allow things to happen to us, and sometimes we do stuff just due to immaturity or due to ignorance, you know, or due to not loving ourselves the way that we should. And then you put yourself in these like situations where you do stuff that's out of character, you do stuff that you aren't proud of. And it's like, if you can forgive yourself and you can forgive the person, then that's going to be a big step in healing.
Absolutely. That's like golden right there.
There it is.
So I have a question.
Okay.
During this healing process and you're forgiving yourself, you know, people throw around closure a lot. Is that necessary?
No. You don't need two people for closure. You just need to close the door. That's it.
I think that's the only thing we agree on.
Because closure is, closure is just another opportunity to, you know, the vibes. And I ain't going there with y'all today.
You know the vibes. We were talking about the bed earlier. That's what those vibes usually
you said.
Look at you.
Look at you.
The bed. It was like a little metaphor. You were just
use the metaphor of the bed.
But it was like in bed, as in like we're together. Yeah, that was it. I didn't say anything was going down.
You guys see the conscious calling? Because she mentioned it twice now. This has been another great episode of the Brandon and Miyoshi Show. I appreciate you guys coming through. Give us your breakup advice. How do you get through it?
Oh, no, wait, but I have to say.
Okay.
You know when people start putting all those quotes, like those spiritual... Listen.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, those quotes be healing in itself too. Like,
alright guys, it's been a pleasure. We are done here. We are done. You're not about to me. Nope.